Hello, and thanks for dropping by. My name is Jack Becknell, and this is BUGtracker. BUGtracker was my capstone project that I worked over a 10-day sprint for my capstone at devCodeCamp. But before we dive too deep into that, let me tell you a little bit about myself. Born and raised in Maine, from a very young age, I knew I wanted to serve my country. So at the age of 18, I enlisted in the United States Marine Corps and served honorably from 2016 to 2020. I was an 0352, which for those that don't know, that marked me as an anti-tank missileman. There's a lot of great values that I pulled from my time in the Marine Corps, hard work ethic and discipline being some of the best. But while I was there, I also picked up a affinity and a love for physical fitness, which is what brought me into my next journey. Upon leaving the Marine Corps, I took up a couple of jobs and did some freelance personal and training work out in Boston, Massachusetts. I actually enjoyed my time as a personal trainer immensely, but it was while I was working those jobs that I met a couple of software engineers that introduced me to the concept of, maybe making a different career path. So they pointed me towards Free Code Camp as well as Team Treehouse, which were cornerstones in my early on days as far as getting some core concepts on what it means to be a software engineer and how to code. Before too long, I actually found myself spending more time coding than I was pretty much doing anything else in my free time. So it was kind of a no-brainer that this was a good fit for me, and this was something that I should take a little more seriously. I did a little bit of homework, a little bit of research on what would be a good path for me, a good progression for me, and it looked like devCodeCamp was a solid fit. So I contacted them. Before long, I found myself in a 3-month boot camp, and they've been fantastic from day one to the last day of my capstone, where I was finishing up BUGtracker. They were great all the way through, and it's BUGtracker that brings you here today. So enough on me, and let's hop right into it. So some of the technologies that were used in this project for the backend, I was coding in Python, and I was using more specifically Django and Django REST framework. For the front end, I was coding in JavaScript, and I was using React.js, React hooks, and HTML and CSS, as well as Axios. It should be stated that both the back and the front end incorporate JWT authentication. The database I was using was MySQL Workbench, and some of those other technologies include Postman, which was integral for actually testing out the endpoints that I created in my backend, as well as GitHub for storing my repository, and Trello for keeping a good workflow, keeping a good to-do list, and keep my mind straight. So what is BUGtracker? This is a fantastic question, and I'm very glad you asked. BUGtracker is a project management tool specifically designed around allowing teams of developers the means of monitoring current projects and, more specifically, the bugs that lie within. So without further ado, let's go ahead and take you right on over, and we'll dive right into it together. So upon loading up BUGtracker, you're taken to this login page. It should be noted there is a register page as well. We've already seeded the database with a couple of users, so we're just going to go ahead and type in their user information here. Just log right in. Signing in as user 2, we're brought right here to our dashboard. It should be noted that there are 3 main pages: our dashboard, our tickets page, and then we also have an admin tab, but that is conditionally rendered for admin use only, and user 2 is not an admin, but we'll get to that in a little bit. So here in our dashboard, we're going to be seeing a list of all of our projects, starting from oldest and going to our newest. Within each of these project boxes here, you're going to be finding the title in the top left, posted on date, the author. This project completed is conditionally rendered for those projects that have been marked completed, and then a description to the project. Up in the top right, you see this view by newest. So if we click on that, now we're getting our newest projects first. That's today's date, the 17th, or we can just switch it right on back and view by oldest. To the left of that toggle, we're going to be seeing this drop down where we can filter by status, title, author, or date. So if I only want to be finding my complete projects, submit that. Now our sole completed projects is rendered. If I only want to find the project with the title of RSPLS, and there it is, RSPLS. Or if I want to get just the projects that are associated with the author, Jack Becknell, Now you'll note all of the projects shown are from the author, Jack Becknell. And you can actually stack these. So if I wanted to just get the author, Jack, and then I just wanted to get, say, today's date, now we're seeing the only project that was posted today by Jack Becknell. To the left of our drop-down filter there, you're going to be seeing this add button. Upon clicking that, a modal will pop up. You can either cancel out or fill it out and then submit it. Now, keep in mind, these projects you can kind of think of them best as like user stories, large overarching goals for teams of developers to accomplish, whether that's building out a database, building out a front end, or maybe some smaller projects that lie within those larger projects. And then the tickets that we assign to these projects, those are the problems, those are the tasks that we find along the way that we need to overcome together. So we're just going to give this a basic name for now. And we'll give it a basic description. We'll submit that. We'll view by newest. And just like that, our project that we just made is shown right here. You'll note that there was no prompt for the date it was posted or the user. Those are automatically grabbed at the time of submission. So let's go ahead and take a closer look. Upon clicking on a project, you're brought to this page. We're in the top left, you're going to be seeing this little blue label that has the project's title. Down here, we're going to be seeing our author, our status, incomplete, posted, and the description. The status is also automatically seated as incomplete upon creation. A couple of things of note here. Let's start with these buttons. The edit and delete buttons are only rendered if you are logged in as that author. So if I just hop back over to dashboard, go over to this project where Jack is the author, no longer can I edit or delete. But let's take it back to that newest project. So if you click on that edit button, you're going to be seeing all of the information pertaining to that project. You can mark it as complete. You can change the description. You can change the title. And you can submit that. And just like that, our project is completed and our description and our title have updated accordingly. But you can't complete a project realistically without having a couple of tickets. Remember, those tickets are either the tasks or the bugs associated with completing these projects. Let's add our first ticket. We'll give it another basic title here just to save you some time, and another basic description. Down here, we have a drop down for priority. There's 3 priorities: high, medium, and low. Kind of a means of letting the teams know maybe which tickets need addressing first and which can kind of wait till later. We'll say this is a pretty important ticket. And under this drop down for ticket type, you'll find task, functional, logical, workflow, unit level, system level integration, out of bounds, and unknown. It should be noted that task is the only one that is not a bug. We'll put it as task for now. And just like that, our first ticket has been created, but you can make as many of these or as few of these as you'd like. And they all come down here right inside of this tickets table. On the right-hand side of this table, you're going to be seeing these view buttons. So let's take a closer look at this first ticket that we just created. Upon clicking on that view button, you're brought here to your inspect tickets page, where we're looking at a pretty similar setup. In the top left on that purple label, you see the title of the ticket. Down here, we have our author, the status of the ticket, the priority, the type, when it was posted, and the parent project that this ticket is associated with. And once again, similar concept, only the author can see these edit and delete buttons. If I were to say, go back and click on a different ticket from a different author, we wouldn't have the option to edit or delete. Below this ticket, we're going to be seeing this view comments section, where a user can either post comments or view previously posted comments, but there are no comments because we just made this. A little bit about these comments. So what they would traditionally be used for is giving users a means of kind of pointing each other in the right direction. So if, say, I have come across a similar problem to user 2, but I know the answer, or I can point him towards a link that might actually give him some good info as far as overcoming this specific problem, this specific task or bug, then I could just come down here and just let him know. But for now, we're just going to go ahead and type in some pretty basic stuff. And you can type in as many as you like. They'll all just be dropped down right down here as long as that toggle is open. Let's take it on into that delete function. So if you click on the delete button, you're brought here to this modal where you get a prompt. See, we don't want the user to accidentally delete a ticket or accidentally delete a project. So we're going to require them to type in farewell-ticket and then submit that for this to actually be deleted. Now we're routed back to our project page, and you'll notice the only ticket that is associated is that second ticket we had created. Similarly, for projects, we can edit or we can delete, but on that delete function, we're going to need to type in farewell-project and not ticket this time. And when you delete a project, you're brought back here. If we view by newest, you'll notice the project we just created together is no longer listed. All right, that sums it up for our dashboard. Let's go ahead and take you on over to tickets. On the tickets page, you're going to be seeing a table of all open tickets, at least the tickets that haven't been deleted. Once again, from oldest to newest. If you want to change that similar functionality, you come over here and you click on that view by newest or click on that view by oldest. Similarly, we have another drop-down filter for either ticket name, priority, status, author, or date. So if I only want to find the tickets that start with we also, I submit that, and just like that, or we also need more tickets too, ticket is rendered. And then if we come over here to priority, we'll say we only want the high priority tickets. Now only our high priorities are rendered. And if we only want our complete tickets, there's the complete. And if we only want to find Jack Becknell's tickets, now we're only seeing tickets from the author of Jack Becknell. And you can actually stack these filters. So if you want to see just the author of Jack and then just the date of, I don't know, say today. Now we're only getting the tickets created today by Jack Becknell. Something of note here, if you delete a ticket from the tickets page, it's kind of fun. You actually get routed back to the tickets page instead of to the project associated with that ticket. Now our ticket is gone and we're back on our tickets page. So this leads me into bringing you into our admin tab, which means I have to log out as user 2. I'll log in as Jack Becknell. And upon logging in, you'll notice we have an extra tab over here, admin. So let's go ahead and take you there. Inside of our admin page, we're going to be seeing these 3 columns: projects, tickets, and users. Each one has a search component where you can search by title of projects or tickets, or search by username of users. So if I only want the user by the name of admin, I type in admin. If I only want the tickets that include the word human, I type in human. If I only want the projects that include RSPLS, I type in RSPLS. Now from here, we can edit or delete any of these. Let me reset those really quickly. I'll take you right on over. Let's delete Lorem Ipsum. So if I just click on that X, we're going to be seeing that very familiar modal pop up. We grab that, stick it down there, submit. And now if I search by Lorem, none of our projects have a title that contain Lorem because we just deleted it. So then if I wanted to say just edit a ticket, let's just say I wanted to change RSPLS to, we'll just add another S there. And we'll mark it as incomplete. There was some more work to be done. We submit that. Now RSPLS marks the changes that we just submitted. Similarly, we can do the same thing over here. Submit is not completed. We got a little exclamation point and it's all successful. And as well, we can delete that, seeing that same similar modal popping up. We'll just throw that farewell ticket down there, submit, and now that ticket is gone. And over in the users column here, a little bit of a different functionality. If we wanted to, say, assign a user as admin, we could just click on the edit function, come over here to that status drop down. And once again, user 2 is not admin. But if we wanted to, we could mark him as admin. And then if you were to log back in upon submitting, he would be able to see that admin tab, but we actually want to keep him as not admin, nothing personal user 2. And then let's just say you wanted to block a user. You could just come here to their username, start typing in an imperceivably long string, and they would be effectively blocked as they would not be able to log back in with that username. but we don't want to do that to user 2. We want them to keep on posting tickets and projects for a long time to come. And this will bring me to my my talk on what I'm aiming for on my next sprint. So on my next sprint, what I'd like to incorporate is adding a groups and adding a team column over here. That way you could assign users to different projects and assign teams to different tickets, depending upon who you'd like to see working on what, or unassign accordingly. And then you could even add some functionality for, you can only add tickets to a project that you're assigned to. But that's all good stuff to come. With that, I think I'll start wrapping it up. I want to say, first and foremost, thank you for coming by. Thanks for your time. And if you're looking to find me, you can always email me at 52moosefit@gmail.com. You can find me on LinkedIn at that link you see there on the screen, or you can find some of my older projects down there if you go to that GitHub link. Once more, thanks for dropping by. I hope to be hearing from you soon.